Yo, what is going on, everybody? We are live here. This is Arsenal versus Liverpool, and I want to welcome Neil. Neil's a guy who is on
What's
our
up? What's
Friday
up?
night panel. Neil, how you doing today, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. It's another day. Another dollar or another pound, I should say. We're all doing good, man. All doing good. What about you?
Yeah, you know what? Back to work now, and I'm sort of being eased in, and I'm kind of there or thereabouts. This month I haven't got a lot to do, and I'm doing half days. So when I get gassed half of the day, I just relax. Like today, I finished at one. I did some stuff. I wrote my script for the Spider-Man 3 trailer, which I still haven't put up on my YouTube channel, and
Cool,
I
cool.
haven't even shot it yet. But I was so exhausted. I did some writing,
Oh
and I
man.
jumped in the hot tub for about an hour.
Oh, that
So
sounds nice, man.
so yeah, so that's me so far today, man. How's everybody doing in football land though? Big, big, big game this weekend, and we're here to talk about it, man. We're here to talk about it. It's actually two of the Premier League's top five teams. I can't believe I can actually say that. Two of the Premier League's top five teams,
Yeah, you've got there. You
and
got there finally.
yeah. I mean, when you consider after the third game, let's just talk about August. When you consider August, we were bottom of the table, let 9 goals in, hadn't even scored a goal, and
Yeah,
here we are. Like
yeah.
it's good, man.
It's funny listening to all the Arsenal fans now because at the beginning of the season it's like get rid of Arteta, oh Arteta this, Arteta that, and now everybody's just singing his praises now.
Yeah, I mean, I would say 90% of the fans are. There's still the 10%, the odd fan who's just fickle and I don't know what they expect because Arsenal right now over the last 8 games have been playing as good as anyone in the league.
Exactly. To be
Um,
honest, that 10%, that's what I like to listen to because I like to listen to these guys moan and
yeah,
groan and complain, man. It's funny. It's funny.
it is. It is. I mean, 18. What's going on? 18. 18 says this game is going to tell us more about where we are. I just hate that there's some Arsenal fans who've been waiting for us to lose, and this is their game. Yeah, I mean, they've probably been quiet for weeks, waiting for Liverpool to come up. And I personally said Liverpool are back to their form where they won the title. So that's how good I think that they are. Although my favourites this year, which I said in the summer, was Chelsea. I'm not moving from that yet. I'll revise my opinion at Christmas. But for now, I put my hat on Chelsea, and I think when I said that before the season, a lot of people saying, I'm not sure. But then look where they are now. So it seems so far I'm right. But Man City are the current champions, and Liverpool are back to their form. So let's see what happens. Kuke says Neil is so smooth. You know what? Neil's been like that from school, you know. He's been like that from school. He hasn't changed at
Just a
all.
lot less of this.
Daniel, what's going on, Daniel? Big up to my cousin in 101. What's going on, man? What's going on? So, guys, it's the big one. And look, nobody should be under any illusions that Arsenal are title contenders right now. We just have to. The truth is, guys, we don't know who Arsenal are. And I said that against Leicester just before we played Leicester and I did the preview. I said we don't know who we are. So with the Spurs, with the Aston Villa, with the Leicester, we have come out of that building on the team every single week. And what we have now is the ultimate test for Arsenal, not just because of how good Liverpool are, it's because of how bad Arsenal have been at Anfield. So for me, we're going to find out how much this team has changed because they get beaten by an average of 3 goals up there. It's no joke. But are you looking forward to this game, Neil? Because obviously you're coming off a loss. The defeat to West Ham for you was before the international break.
Eye
Um,
opener.
it was a big eye opener because I think when you think about it, yeah, it's not what you expected from Liverpool. Certainly not me.
No, I mean, seriously, I kind of had a feeling something was going to happen. I had a feeling that we were going to drop points. And that's purely because when you look at Liverpool's history, especially when they go on a nice, decent run, they will always come against a team that people go, oh, they're just going to batter them and then they drop points. To be honest, I'm not looking forward to this Arsenal game because you guys are definitely on the run and on the up, and you guys have been doing really, really well your past few games. Liverpool have done well as well, other than the West Ham game. But then when you think about it, The one thing that I think put a bit of pressure on those guys is that unbeaten streak. And whenever people start talking about that unbeaten streak with Liverpool, they lose it. They just lose it just like that. So I'm hoping it's just a one-off and we do you guys on Saturday, being a Liverpool fan, obviously. But realistically, if we get our injured players back and Klopp announces them in the team, then we stand a much better chance of winning that game.
Yeah, I mean, a heavy defeat for Arsenal would mean that not in most people's eyes, it would mean not much has changed. But for me, in my opinion, gaining any points at Anfield will mean our confidence will grow and the team rebuilding is on the right track. And then I would probably say this team will probably challenge for a top 4, because my prediction before, and even now, my prediction is still 8. I said in summer, I said we'll finish 8th. But because we're on such a fantastic run, the longer this goes on, the longer, the confidence is going to start to build. And people like myself who didn't think the team was any good or would be any good, it would just start to change around. And if they get a result, and I'm not saying if they beat Liverpool, I'm saying if they get a result, then I'll start to think, yeah, you know what, they might be able to challenge for top 4, depending on what Man United do. Because when you talk about top 4, you got to say who's going to miss out. Ain't going to be City, ain't going to be Chelsea, ain't going to be Liverpool.
Yeah, but this game isn't going to be the be-all and end-all. Yes, it will test you guys. It will test your resilience. And if you win, it's keeping your streak going. So it's all good for your confidence and that sort of stuff. But what you got to remember, I mean, when I look at Liverpool, I'm not really worried about playing the top teams because we get a good result, if it, at least a draw against these guys. Yeah, it's the teams that we should be beating 7, 8, 9 nil, etc. Yeah, we always get surprised. I mean, you look back at the Brentford game. Come on, man. The amount of chances we had, we should have put that to bed in the first half. What happens? Yeah. We dropped 2 points against them. And they're not the only team that we drop points. And the thing is, when you look at Liverpool's unbeaten streak, yeah, even though we lost it last week, yeah, we would have been in second place with an unbeaten streak. How can you have an unbeaten streak and not be top?
Yeah.
It's the draws every season in, season out. What hurts Liverpool the most is the draws, and they're always drawing against the teams like the West Broms and those sort of teams. And you're kind of thinking, Arsenal just spanked them last week. You know what I mean? United spanked them the week before. And yet they come against Liverpool and it's just like, oh, here we go. And we do it every season. Every season we drop points against teams like that. So I'm hoping that, we pick it back up this game and we do you guys.
Yeah,
I've got to say that anyway, yeah?
Yeah, you got to say that anyway. I think my opinion on Liverpool is like, Liverpool have won 2 of their last 6 league games. Yes. If I can get that up on the screen, actually, so that I can see where Liverpool is. Let me go to a window. I think it's this one. Yes, it is. So if I can get to this one. So if we look here, Liverpool, Liverpool are around here.
Yeah.
And if you look at their results, now, Liverpool have won 2 of their last 6. It's resulted in sort of 9 points dropped. Exactly. But more concerning for me is how those points have been dropped. Like Liverpool have thrown away leads. They were leading at Brentford, leading at Man City, leading at Brighton, and scoring 6 goals hasn't been a problem. But keeping them out, that's what's been the issue. So they've scored 31 goals in 11 games. And the only, I think... they're the only team that has scored in every single game so far this season. That's mad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not the goals that we're scoring; it's the goals that we're conceding. Before, up to a couple of games ago, we were averaging 3 goals a game.
Yeah,
and you're still drawing. You're still drawing games. The 3 you scored against Brentford, they scored 3 back. What's going on?
And you can see here 3 goals let in here. Two goals let in here.
Yeah.
Obviously, they won those 2. I mean, they obliterated 5-0. That's awesome. Yeah. But then another 2 goals here. So in the last 6 games, they've let in 9 goals. That's crazy.
It's
on the
terrible.
flip side of that, let me just look at Arsenal. Let me put this grid up here. On the flip side of that, Arsenal on this run, on this fantastic run, if I can I blow this up? Yeah, I can. Arsenal in the last 8 games have scored, well, they've had 6 wins, which is first in the Premier League. They've scored 13 goals, which is third. They've got 45 shots on target, which is third in the league. They've had 5 clean sheets, which is first. They're the best defense in the last 8 games coming into this game. Goals conceded, 4, which is the second best behind Chelsea, and shots on target faced, 29, which is 5th. So when you look at Arsenal all across the board, offensively and defensively, they have fixed a lot. It's not just like one phase of the game; it's both ends of the field. Arsenal just are really on it, man.
Exactly, they're doing well. Have you got the same thing for Liverpool?
No, because BBC covered this. BBC was talking about the resurgence.
Okay.
The only thing I had for Liverpool was the last 6 games. But it just goes to show that we've got 2 teams. It's a battle of the big boys now, man, because this is going to tell us everything we need to know about Arsenal.
I don't think it will. I don't think it will. I think it might give you guys some hints, because remember, we're 11 games into the season. So
that's quarter of the season done.
Yeah, but there's still plenty. There's still plenty of games to go.
There is, but I think, what you have to remember is it's all about confidence. And
yes,
for you, confidence has never been a problem. You won the league 2 years ago. Last season, you felt good because you had injuries, and you were like, okay, I put my hand up. You know, we lost our best defender. Everything was spiraling out of control. And now you've got those players. Your confidence has never wavered in 3 seasons. But we've never had the confidence. So that's why when I say to you that this is a big game and the result means everything, it means everything to us, because our record against you is atrocious. It would tell us how far we've come. If we get a draw, Arsenal fans would be like, and the players, the youngest team in the league, that would be a huge confidence booster.
Definitely.
Christmas.
I think what we'll do is then we'll come in for a few of your players like Saka in January and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, Smith Rowe and all that man there. So Kuke says, I think Arteta will drop Laka and bring in Maitland-Niles. I think he'll bring in Maitland-Niles anyway. I'm not sure if it's worth taking a chance on Thomas Partey. It said keep things tight in the first half and frustrate Liverpool, and then bring in more firepower, Laka and Pepe, in the second half to try and nick something. 18 says Neil knows his stuff, big respect. Facebook user, who I'm not sure that is, so I'm going to try and find out who that is, says, it's Prince. Prince is saying, all I know is that we won't get slapped like before. Yeah, and that's the thing. So earlier on I said Arsenal are just looking to be accountable. Yeah, they're just looking to be a part. We want to be a part of that group, that top 4, top 5 group. We want to get in there. So in order for us to get in there, we need to make ourselves look accountable. We need to show Liverpool what West Ham showed Liverpool a couple of weeks back.
Oh, please don't bring that up. Don't bring that up, man.
Listen, if you talk to them lot on a Friday night, do you remember I keep bringing up that I was the one at the beginning of last season, not even West Ham fans thought that they were going to do well. I was saying, watch out for West Ham, everybody. And they were like, what are you talking about? They're relegation fodder. I said, no. Watch out for West Ham, and look what happened. Boom, Europa spot. Exactly. And now people are coming back. They're fans. Like we have Ian, who's on the panel as well on a Friday night, and the other guy, God, is Lucas, who's mind you, I've got to make contact with him. I ain't spoken to him in ages. All of them West Ham fans are saying to me, yeah, man, and Chris Akabusi as well. Man texts me saying, yeah, Paulo, you were right, man. You were right about it. So me and Chris Akabusi have been going banter for decades on that thing. Tony, our other school buddies, just said, good evening, the Neasden High School Massive.
Hey.
Yeah, man, Neasden represent. Even though our school ain't there anymore, we're still here represented. So I'm going to talk about Arsenal for a bit. So for me, boy, and like I said, it's we're coming in with the most informed defense in the league, and I think for us, Ramsdale remains Arteta's number 1 in goal. That's not going to change now. He got an England cap over the weekend, so I'm loving that. Gabriel and Tomiyasu will be coming back from international duty, so they've been assessed today at London Coney. Kieran Tierney and Ben White will be probably fitted in. I don't know whether he's going to play Tavares. I hope he does, because how has that guy played to be dropped? He hasn't. He has not had a grade under 7 out of 10 since he's been starting in the team, and it would be harsh to grade to drop him. But Ben White's been well rested since he didn't play for England. I don't know why, because boy, he was on the Euros team. He was statistically their best centre back in the league last season, even higher than Harry Maguire. Most tackles, most interceptions, most duels won, and that's why he got chosen for the Euros, but he didn't play. So he's well rested. And for me, guys, the defense is the heart and soul of the team. As I said, since week 3, they are just balling out. The biggest question is, will Thomas Partey be fit? Will that midfield sort of step up and carry the strength of the team as well in the spine? And I really don't know, but I would be happy if Maitland-Niles started, because he was man of the match against Watford. And I think this would be a huge test. Maitland-Niles was playing for us when we beat Liverpool 2-1 at the end of last season, just like 5 months ago. So it ain't like he can't do the job. Yeah, the guy's very well acquitted. And then up front, I think, obviously Smith Rowe, Saka is a lock on the wings. And then it's whether we're going to have Lacazette and Aubameyang in the middle, which it's a sure bet we will. I know Aubameyang was being lately assessed and everything, but I think Odegaard played well in the week in international duty, and at some point he's going to come back in the team. I do want to ask you about Liverpool, so I'm just going to pull up what I think. Here we are. I'm going to pull up what I think would be their projected starting team and talk me through it. Is this the team you think is going to start? If not, where would you change things if you was Jurgen Klopp?
To be honest, looking at that setup there, the first person I'm going to mention is, I can't say his name, Tsimikas. Is that how you say it, Tsimikas?
Yeah, Tsimikas.
Guy's good. He's good. I mean, the amount of the games that he's actually participated in, and when Robertson's been out and he's played, I had to fear for Robertson for a while, because the man just fitted in. He plays a different type of game, but he defends better, in my view, and he can run with the ball. He can move with that ball, and he surprised me. So he's a good replacement for Robertson. Hopefully, Robertson won't be out for too much longer. I mean, the international games is what always does Liverpool. We had Mane injured as well.
Yeah.
Henderson injured as well. It's like, what's going on, sort of thing. But looking at that, Alisson, obviously, he's always going to be there. Alexander-Arnold. It's difficult to, even when he's injured, you want him to play, because he just brings that extra dimension. To be honest, I don't think he's the best defender or great at defending.
Who's that, Matip?
No, Arnold.
Oh, yeah.
Alexander-Arnold.
Well, I mean, he got a hat-trick of assists for England against San Marino in the
midweek. but that's not playing defensively, is it?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, he's the one defender or winger I would like to see someday maybe put up into midfield. Because
you know what? Funny you say that, because I mentioned Tavares, and he's more of a sort of a dynamic midfielder, attacking player than he is a defender. One can probably say that about Tierney as well. When we played 3-4-3 and had 3 at the back, Tierney was on the left-hand side as a wing back. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if we actually came into the game and played 3 at the back and sort of dropped Tomiyasu. It's harsh, but I wouldn't be surprised, because Maitland-Niles thrives in a 4-man midfield. Yes. Tierney can come back as a wing back. Or he can drop back at left back with Gabriel and Ben White, and then Tavares can come in on the left hand side as a wing back. So I wouldn't be surprised if we went through at the back. But for you guys, I think Andy Robertson is. I don't know what the scan was. Did the scan come out good or bad? Or
well, it's not terrible, and there is a chance that he may be on the bench, or maybe even being thing. I mean, we're going to find out tomorrow when Klopp announces the team, right?
Yeah.
They kind of him, Mane and Henderson. It was kind of like precautionary when they got taken off, sort of thing. So It's not the worst thing. Yes, every time a Liverpool player gets injured, the first thing everybody goes is, "Oh no," sort of thing. But it's not. None of those injuries are bad, and they've all been in training. But
and
even though they've
actually,
been training by themselves,
and this works against us for me. I think Mane, Milner, and Henderson were doubtful. Robinson and Gomez are going to be out probably. Keita, Firmino, Curtis Jones, and Elliott, I think, are going to be out. But for me, I think that last year when I talked to you about Diego Jota, I'm more worried about him than I am Firmino. He's a bigger goal threat.
He's a bigger goal
seriously, and I'm a big Origi fan as well, but Origi ain't going to play.
Well, do you know, he might be on the bench. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what Klopp actually, just who he decides to be in that team. Origi is up there, yeah, because Firmino, Mane. It's not a dead cert that Mane is going to be in the team, and it's possible that he might not be in the team.
Yeah, because is a rib injury?
It was a rib injury.
Rib injury. Yeah,
sort of
and
thing.
You don't want that when you're facing up someone like Gabriel, because Gabriel is
definitely not, man. He needs to wear a suit of armor. Seriously, he needs to wear a suit of armor going against players like Gabriel. And it's not like Mane's the biggest player of all the players on this. In fact, Liverpool's got quite a short squad, especially the front three, sort of thing. But sorry, go on.
So the only one that I would question there is Matic, because he seems to be preferred by Klopp over Konate.
You got to look. Konate's new. Yeah, he's young. He's new. He's been blooded slowly into the team. So I personally think that when Gomez is back, it's going to be between Konate and Gomez. Yeah, for that spot next to Van Dijk in the centre. So next season is where you're going to see that battle. At the moment, Klopp's trying to give a lot of these players a little bit of time in certain games. It'd be nice to see Konate, because I think he's played pretty well so far. I don't think we've seen the best of him yet, but then again, he hasn't played enough time to show his best. But he's done, from what we've seen, he looks okay. He's decent. He's quite decent. And when you're looking at that setup that you've pulled up there, as I said, Tsimikas, he will probably play for Robertson, because I'm not sure Robertson will be in there, but the rest of the back four will be as it is. When you go into the midfield now, you're looking at Thiago. Thiago, still kind of questionable. I think he needs a bit more time. Whether he's Liverpool material, I'm still on the fence on that one. Still on the fence.
Really? A lot of people love him.
Do you know, maybe it's me, but I still want, I know it sounds bad, but I still want Coutinho back.
Yeah.
Coutinho, ever since Liverpool lost Coutinho, the midfield's not been the same. Yeah. We've brought in players like Keita. We've got obviously Thiago as well. I can't even mention Oxlade-Chamberlain, right? None of these guys can do what Coutinho did, but unfortunately, when he went to Barcelona, his confidence got knocked. Yeah, and whether he bounces back or not, I don't know. But he needs a manager to bring that back out of him, and Klopp brought it out of him. Yeah, when he was at LFC, Klopp brought it out, and in fact, Klopp's done so well. I mean, Henderson has got to be one of the most improved players under Klopp, right? Because when he first came to the team, I was saying, why is that guy wearing a red shirt? What's he doing there? Yeah. Lots of Liverpool fans kind of say, yeah, Henderson's the best, he's a legend. I still don't think so. But under Klopp, he's improved a lot. So looking at the midfield now, Fabinho's definitely going to be in there. Because I think that Klopp will probably play more of a defensive midfielder in there. Thiago, probably. I don't think Ox. I think Ox will be on the bench. Milner is a player that should not be played.
I think he's injured, isn't he? He's one of the names
he's also trained by himself as well. So Henderson and Mane have all been training separately.
Yeah.
So they all still stand a chance to get in the squad.
Wow.
If they get in
I can't wait for this. This is a big game for us. This is a big game for us, man.
Listen, if we can get those players back and their confidence is high after those injuries, it's going to be a difficult game for you guys. It's going to be a
Yeah.
difficult games. But the thing is, the one thing that Liverpool do tend to do at times, they will have majority of the play. Yeah, they will just have so much possession, but sometimes it just goes left, right, left, right, left, right. Yeah, and even though they're great at going forward, sometimes I think they play the counter attacking at the wrong time.
Yeah, our biggest weakness before was we couldn't handle the press very well, and that's why Liverpool's had so much luck against us.
Yeah.
And now we've got better defenders with the ball at their feet. We've got an amazing goalkeeper with the ball at his feet or in his hands. As a distributor, this guy's out of this world. Seriously, I've seen. I mean, I know Alisson made a blunder of mistakes against West Ham, but as a consistent basis, remember Ramsdale's only been playing from September, you know, from the whole transfers. And since he's been in, we've had the best defense in the league. I think that I haven't seen a goalkeeper distribute the ball the way he has in the league this year. I have not seen anyone do as well as this guy. He's hitting 40, 50-yard balls over and breaking the press and putting opposing teams on their back foot. Just him by himself. We've never had that.
Yeah, no, that's good. And that's the issue. The issue that I think the problems that we'll get from you guys is that long ball when you punt it up, because we'll have definitely Van Dijk, definitely Arnold, maybe Tsimikas. I'm hoping it's going to be him.
I can see all them fantasy football fans throwing Tsimikas in their team now. That's what they did at the beginning of the season when Robinson wasn't there. Even me, I did fling him in there for the first few games, man.
Listen. He's a good buy, but unfortunately, whenever Liverpool bring a new player in, and even if they spend a lot of money, they're not guaranteed that position. Yeah, they're not guaranteed. They've got to please Klopp in training. They've got to please him in training.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah? That's the way it is, man.
And the fight, unfortunately, the competition for defensive places is high. The competition for midfield places is not that high. Yeah. And the front three, well, when it's the front three, I mean, I feel sorry for Joshua at times. I'd love to see him get in there, but you know what? I mean, you need Mane, you need Salah. Yeah, we need Firmino more than those two, in my view, because Firmino is that link-up player. I mean, he's not scoring the goals, right? And everybody's going, oh, well, he's not scoring goals, kick him out, put Jota in. But if you look at his intricate plays, the little passes he does, especially when he's in that box.
Yeah, sounds like Lacazette.
He causes so many problems.
It sounds like Lacazette. Lacazette, I've been telling people to forget looking at Lacazette as a 20-goal-a-season striker, because it ain't going to happen. And look at him more like a Wiltord.
His touches, man. His touches.
Look at him more like a compliment to the main striker, like how Wiltord was to Henry. That's what he is to Aubameyang. He's just a compliment player. And the play goes through him, the way he holds up the ball and brings each other into play. It's really working well with that combination of Smith Rowe and Saka on the wings. I really like what I see. Let's see what these guys are saying now. G's saying, I can see your logic. I could also see an advantage to play Laka main marking Fabinho. Yeah, because that's what he was doing when we beat Liverpool 2-1 last season. Fabinho, for example, and constantly hassling him. Because we broke their pivot then, didn't we? Obviously, he wouldn't have the lungs to do that all game. That's fine, because you got Nketiah and Odegaard on there as well, so I don't have a concern about that. Kuke says, if we can get through the first half while still being in the match, bringing on Laka to do the mark. Everyone's saying Laka's not going to start. Doing a man marking on Fabinho at halftime could be a game changer for us. Prince, this is Prince. Prince says, our biggest test, but whatever happens doesn't mean the end of the world. Having seen the direction of the team and what Arteta wants to do, there's hope that things will change for good. And yes, and we can do it. Yes, we can. I totally 100% agree, because as I said, funny, isn't it? This team has only played 8 league games to in double digits yet. That's how much we are in our infancy. That's why these games against Liverpool and Tottenham and Aston Villa and Leicester and all that are very important to us, because we don't know where we are. Last year we were trash, got rid of all them players. Now we got the youngest team in the league, and we've just parked and moved aside all of those mistake-prone players. You know, we had Leno, the most mistake-prone goalkeeper in the league, leading to goals. I know Xhaka is injured, but he was the most penalized outfield player, making mistakes, causing goals. And when you annihilate all of those issues and problems, your team then becomes competent. Your team becomes mistake-free. And when you look at the top four, all of those teams play mistake-free football to an extent. We know the goalkeepers are great, but they might make one or two mistakes. But to a point, to a consistent point, you don't win the league by giving goals away to the other team. You don't do it. And last season, Arsenal had the third best defense in the league. And I was concerned when David Luiz left and we bought in Ben White. This is what 50 million looked like. The man looks like the team right now is solid. The goalkeeper's solid. The back four solid. Thomas Partey's in front of them, protecting them. We got Maitland-Niles. We got Sambi. Things are looking good, guys. G says, Prince, if we end up not losing at Anfield, it'll be a nice result. But if you put it into perspective, what our ambitions for the seasons were, as well as the squad values, true. Liverpool have some injuries, and maybe I don't believe 3 years ago, Liverpool were missing 8 players, and everybody was saying Liverpool's going to be this. We got rolled over in that game, and everyone was talking about how they were missing 7 players. I don't buy that shit at all, man. I don't. Guys, seriously, there's 11 against 11, man, and
it is. Don't care who. On the day, it's all about confidence. On the day, it's all about confidence and who's up for it. And what you'll find is that normally Liverpool, they will play with a lot of confidence, and then they'll take their eye off the ball, and that's where they've got the draws. They've taken their eye off the ball, and you know, after that, it's just like, oh, not again. But it's the way it goes. But yeah,
so let's get some predictions. Let's close it out with some predictions now. So for me, you have to remember, Arsenal have only beaten Liverpool once in the last 15 games. Once in the last 15 games.
Let's hope that's 16.
Yeah, that's the big problem for me. So, guys in the chat, throw your scores up. Let me hear what you got to say. I think the game, I think it was the one that I remember was the 2-0 win when Santi Cazorla and Podolski scored. That was the game that I was like, yeah, man, this team knows what they're doing. What's going on, Mr. B? Mr. B's in the house. Mr. B, throw up your predictions so I can see what's going on, bro. G says Arsenal are going to win 2-1.
Wow.
Cool K says that we're going to win 2-0. Bro, wow. Did you not hear me when I said to you that Liverpool are the only team in the league that has scored in every single game so far this season? You ain't hearing me, bro. Yeah? You're not hearing me. So, but I think what it is, some guys are talking about Arsenal's defense. You know, we know that defense is good, man. We know that defense is good. And Liverpool is one of the best attacking front threes that we've got in the league. Mr. Bungle says 2-1 to Liverpool. 18 says 1-0 to Arsenal. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. And I will be happy and dancing and singing if we had that result. Because we'd have come a long way to get that result. Neil, what are you going for?
To be honest, it's not going to be 1-1. There'll be quite a few goals scored. It'll be at least 2-0. Not 2-0, sorry. 2-2 or 3-3. And the only reason why I say that is because going forward, if we get the opportunities, which we will, Liverpool will always get the opportunities. I mean, you look at the amount of chances we have. Yeah, we have so many chances from time to time. It's amazing how we come away with maybe just 3-0. I mean, the United game, and I have to bring this up. That's the one time when everything came into play. And if you still look at the amount of chances compared to the goals we scored, that's still not enough. That 5-0 was not enough compared to the chances. So I think, to be honest, it's going to be 2-2, at least 2-2. I'd love to see Liverpool win, but because we've come off that loss against West Ham, and Anfield is not the fortress it used to be at this moment in time.
But you remember, you're playing the youngest team in the league.
Listen. Forget team, the age, forget form. Yeah, these games, you can't look at that. Yes, it's a good indicator of how you could play, but forget that. You guys are going to be up for it. Our guys are going to be up for it. Yeah, it's either going to be, well, it's not going to be a boring game. I'll tell you one for now. It's going to be end-to-end stuff. End-to-end stuff, right? Arnold will need to defend, yeah, and not get caught up the pitch too often. Yeah.
So I put let me just cover Prince. Prince says Liverpool 1, Arsenal 2, and Tony's going 1-0 to the Arsenal. Jeez, Tony's going.
I'm surprised
1-0.
that it's a low scoring game that you guys are putting.
Because the reason why I say that is because our defense is at the moment right now, like on current form.
Clearly, you guys haven't.
Out, man.
Clearly, you guys haven't been watching Salah, then, have you?
No, it's not that. But I think Salah's the best player in the league. I just want to put that out there. But this team shut down Villa. This team shut down Leicester. You know, Vardy, keeping him quiet, and Maddison. That save that Ramsdale made for Maddison is the best save, not just this season, but for many, many years.
You're right.
I've been, I think that's probably the best. That's probably the best save I've seen in at least the last 4 or 5 years.
Do not look at Liverpool as a one-striker goal-scoring team.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah?
Of course not. Liverpool.
Right? So even if you keep Salah out, yeah, you still got to contend with Jota. Most likely, he'll probably be in the team. Mane, you got to contend with Mane if Mane plays.
You got to contain him as well.
Yeah,
this is going to be a big.
You got to look at the
test
set pieces
man.
from Trent Alexander-Arnold as well. Yeah, you could Smeekers. He's gonna shore up that defense. Him, Matip, and Van Dijk. You might as well say it's a free across the back because I can't see Alexander playing much in the defense. He's always going to be running forward, running up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You think he might stop? Do you think he might hold that down a bit in the case of Smith Rowe and Saka getting forward?
To be honest, if he did, that will give you guys a better chance of winning the game.
I think
because a lot of the play comes from him. Yeah, a lot of that bombing down that wing comes from him, crossing that ball across, finding players out. That's the sort of thing that Contino used to do from midfield. Yeah, Alexander-Arnold is doing that. He's just doing that on the wing.
And Tony's saying this is great offense against great defense. That's right, man. Immovable object against an unstoppable force.
Exactly.
This is a poll I put up a couple of days ago for the subscribers of 101 on Arsenal. And I love the way I word all this stuff in there. These guys must be cracking up every time they do my polls. I put down there, lose. Will Arsenal lose? Are you kidding me? We can't beat Liverpool. Only 21% said that. 30% said a hard-fought draw. Our boys will become men. But 49% of Arsenal fans said we will win. We will shock Liverpool. Our time is now.
They're saying that because of the West Ham game. That's why.
Boy.
Saying that because of the West Ham game.
Yes, because as I said, they've let 9 goals in with that time, which is very unlike Liverpool. It's very disturbing to see them letting all them goals in. So I don't know where this is going to go. And it's going to be a great game. But guys, we are doing the live match day commentary at 5:30 on Saturday. The game is live on Sky Sports. And I hope you guys join us for what I think is going to be an absolutely fantastic match. Thank you very much, Neil. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, Paulo.
Any closing comments, Neil?
Yeah, Liverpool going to win 5-0.
Wouldn't it be funny if they did? Imagine that, an average score of 3 goals that they win by. Oh, man. All right, guys, thank you very much for joining me. And, guys, we'll see you in the next one, man. Big up, everybody.
People.
Nice one.